Welcome to another episode of Connect Talk Official, where we talk about technology and entrepreneurship. And today we are coming live to you from Las Colinas in Dallas, from the Board of Advisors studio inside the Ritz-Carlton. So I'm really excited for this episode, and I have Adonis Lockett with me from so many different companies, but I'm just very happy that he's here with me, able to spend a little bit of time with me. And Adonis, welcome to Connect Talk Official Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Adonis, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into what you do now?
My background is actually in electrical mechanical engineering. So I had a cool job. Moved to Dallas working for Lockheed Martin, doing testing and failure analysis for the rocket propulsion system of missiles. But I'm the classic example of a guy who loved what I did, but my boss made me hate my job. So I ended up leaving corporate, now like 16, 17 years ago. Launched my own real estate company in 2011. And since then, opened 12 offices in 9 states.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much a business unit in every aspect of real estate, mortgage company, real estate brokerage, property management company, wholesale flipping, private lending company, real estate tech company. Then ultimately launched an education program teaching people how to get into real estate, which what I believe is the most creative concept that's out there, getting into real estate by brokering private money loans. So the Smart Money Blueprint is kind of what like the big thing is now, just teaching people how to get into the business and the true lowest barrier of entry by brokering private money loans.
Wow, it seems like you're doing quite a bit. So I'm very curious, what does your typical day look like from start to finish?
So I'm usually up right about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I spend about an hour of me time. I don't check any work emails. I don't check any text messages. It literally is just me time. So that may be meditation. That may just be me sitting in silence. It may be scrolling on social media, whatever it is. First hour of the day is just me. Then I will literally start my routine, get up, get myself situated, get the kiddos situated, get my boys ready, get them off to school, and then the moment they walk out the door, it's 8 o'clock, I'm dialed in and literally usually have a stacked day, about anywhere from 7 to 10 hours of meetings a day.
Wow, yeah, that's quite a bit, right? That's a full load for sure. Yeah. So, you started in the real estate space with private money brokering, and that's one of the easiest ways for someone to actually get involved in the real estate space, right?
I want to caution easy is conceptually it's simple.
Right.
I wouldn't use the word easy. I would say simple in concept, very complicated in business up until you get the foundation on education and process.
So that's a really good segue into my next question. What are some of the common misconceptions your students have about private money brokering when they first start?
That I don't need education. It's simple. I introduce an investor to a lender and get paid. What people don't understand is that the concept of brokering private money is very simple. Introduce an investor to a lender and get paid. What most people misfire on drastically is that the business is actually very complicated. It's very involved. It's very process and competency driven. So people often confuse a simple concept for an easy business, and that's where they often misfire and will spend weeks, months, even years spinning their wheels before they get traction. And a lot of times, by that time, they've all but burnt out.
I gotcha. So, what has been your most effective channel for growing your student base? I mean, if you can kind of discuss and expand on your marketing strategy.
So the most effective channel?
Yeah.
Proof. So what I'll do is what I've learned from sitting with very intelligent people, right? Because you have people who are in this space that I'm introducing this concept to that will flip it over and think, because I know real estate, because I know investing, that I can easily flip this model and then just knock it out the park. And what I do is I will provide proof in the form of call your customer and pitch them on the loan.
Okay.
And when that deal goes left, let me get on the phone and course correct, and let me show you the difference in what your conversation was and my conversation was and what you're actually subscribing to. So a lot of people, the mistake that a lot of people make is that introducing an investor to a lender is telling an investor about a lender's loan program and then I get paid when the deal closes. What they don't understand is that investors are very dialed in. They know what lenders are doing what. What an investor is going to latch onto is the value that this individual brings. And a lot of times these investors don't even realize that value until you explain it to them, right? It's like introducing something that people don't even know that they want until you tell them now they need it, right?
Right.
Same concept with cell phones, right? Right now, we all need our cell phone, but at one point, we didn't even know that we wanted a cell phone. Now we can't live without it. Exactly. It's the same concept, right? So these investors, they need to understand that the concept is not the business. And that's what I actually, the easiest way for me to show them is that I'll show you exactly how simple the concept is and how not simple the business is.
Gotcha. So you obviously have a lot of street cred, when it comes to private money brokering. Looking back at the your experiences and all kinds of deals that you've been part of, what is one decision, if you can go back and change, what would that be?
One decision that I would go back and change is I would get a mentor. I spent my entire professional career figuring it out on my own because I was too smart for a mentor. I don't need a mentor. I figured it out. I made the mistake.
Right.
And the problem with that degree of arrogance is that there were so many more mistakes I didn't know that needed to be made before I got to the point where I was like, I don't think there's any mistakes I can make, but now 7 years has passed. Right? And where I am in 7 years, I could have been in 2 had I gotten a mentor who would have walked me through some of the things not to do. So it's kind of a catch-22 because the things that I did, all the things that I did in error is what made me so well-rounded today. So I'm grateful for that part, but I also feel that my career could easily be 5, even 10 years further ahead if I had a mentor that walked me through and had me avoid some of those mistakes. Number one recommendation I would give anyone is that no matter how simple you think transitioning to something new is, you're going to pay for it one way or another with money or your time. There is no workaround for that. You're going to exchange one or the other. I would have rather paid money and saved my time versus losing 5-7 years to avoid spending a couple dollars.
Right. No, I mean, I think that's the advice a lot of people don't hear from a lot of folks. And everyone thinks that they know everything, and then they are spinning wheels,
right,
and making all the mistakes along the way, right?
Right.
Before we got here, you made a rather exciting announcement in the other room.
Right.
Would you like to share that here with all of us?
So, I've been stewing on this for quite some time, and my biggest thing is always helping people. I just wish that there were resources available to help me grow at the capacity that I wanted to, that didn't require me to just get it out the mud, like just literally trial and error my whole career. Yeah. So I want to pay it forward and make these resources available for people who want to learn how to broker private money loans. And I just announced, literally for the first time publicly 10 minutes ago, the launch of the Private Money Broker Network. The PMB Network is essentially going to connect brokers nationwide, and it is going to be the ultimate resource center for everything brokers will ever need: education, resources, documents, contracts, lenders, networking events. I mean, a broker is going to be able to log in brand new to the business, day one in the business, and know. And by the time they go through the channels that we've built out for each individual broker, wherever they are in the space, they're going to have all the resources they need, the education that they need, the infrastructure they need, the marketing strategies they need, and more importantly, the people that they need to move them along will live in the Private Money Broker Network. I am going to truly make the resource center that brokers so desperately need available nationwide, including local chapters where they can actually go out and meet people in the local market, meet different, brokers who are doing hundreds of millions of dollars a year, meet the lenders. I mean, just meet every part of the people involved in the transaction that's going to help them be successful. And today I made the official announcement to roll it out, and the Private Money Broker Network is going to be the largest and official association of brokers in the private lending industry.
Congrats in launching the Private Money Broker Network.
Thank you.
This is very exciting news, and I'm sure you can't stress enough, how important technology has plays a role in launching this, and how it has helped you along your journey, right?
Right.
Would you be able to expand a little bit on that?
I mean, at one point, my entire lending business was operating from an Excel spreadsheet, right? I hand typed everything. I hand wrote everything. I manually reviewed every document. And the moment I moved over into a platform that had automation, that had a document repository, the same 8 hours that I would spend working 15 files, I was able to work 50.
Oh, wow.
Like, technology springboarded my business to the next level. The fact that I'm able to bring in $1.5 billion a year is based on all of the different technology automations that I put in place. And I watch people who are very successful have a very manual and labor intensive process. And and a lot of the students who are already running lending companies, we're in the process of overhauling them now. And I was able in about 45 minutes to show how his $250,000, $300,000 business can triple just by automating the things he's doing manually, double his revenue, triple his volume exposure, quadruple his capacity. And the only thing that we're doing is moving to a technology platform, implementing automations, just streamlining everything that's manual into a technology piece. And in less than an hour, I was able to show how technology is going to overhaul. I mean, the entire scalability lives around implementing the right technology and the right processes.
Right. And my understanding is, you have some experience, building up your own technology platform, right? So would you like to, talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I created my RE360 as my real estate tech company, and I created that to be the ultimate real estate resource center. So when someone wanted to learn real estate investing, they could come in here and learn from different educators. They can connect with the different vendors that they need to run a successful real estate business. And I'm not just talking about lending, flippers, wholesalers. I mean, every title company, insurance company, real estate agent, whoever they needed, electricians, plumbers, gardeners, whatever they needed, all these vendors lived on this platform. And then there was a deal marketplace where they can actually go and find deals or sell deals themselves. And then again, I'm heavy in systems. And then there was a project management pillar where they get to learn, a rehab estimator, a tool that will walk them down the proper sequence to do a rehab. I mean, I thrive in technology and processes. So I built my RE360 to be a technology platform for people to get resources. And as a byproduct, I added the Smart Money Blueprint on this platform, because my RE360 is actually what's going to be fueling all the resources that are available in the Private Money Broker Network. So by my RE360 spending years collecting all of these vendors are now available to the Private Money Broker Network, and the entire ecosystem feeds each other.
Oh, that's very exciting, and that's excellent work. How did you monetize all of that?
So right now, the biggest thing for us was always just getting people into the room in a marketplace forum, right? Yeah. So I didn't like the idea of trying to monetize transactions, because you end up becoming a detective. What I thought made more sense was, people paying a small monthly fee to get into the marketplace, and then whatever happens within that marketplace, it happens. Right. So the monetization piece came from, with the technology platform, was just being on the marketplace. From the Smart Money Blueprint, it is just getting access to the education where you can save your time and streamline your business and the processes. And then obviously there's LNH Capital, which is the lending company. So the lending company being the biggest benefactor of the Smart Money Blueprint and 360 is obviously helping, with the pay for the advertisements on it.
Gotcha. Let me switch gears here and ask you a question about how would you invest $1,000 if that's all that you had today? How would you invest that $1,000?
If I had $1,000, here's exactly how I would flip that into $1 million business. I would pay $9.97 to learn the Smart Money Blueprint, which is the concept of broker and private money loans. I would study that thing top to bottom. And then I would walk into a room, a free networking event, assuming I only had $1,000. I'll walk into free networking event, free real estate mixers, and I would implement the strategy of the Smart Money Blueprint by strategically introducing an investor to a lender, getting paid, and then I would double that effort by attending multiple more events to find another investor, getting paid, and then I would invest. Once I saw that the concept was valuable, I would then invest in the education, have a coach walk me through how do I build this exponentially and expeditiously and efficiently. So I would then use the monies that I made broking the loans to pay for coaching, and then I would have a coach show me how to take 2 loans that I've closed and make it 200 in a year. And then from that point, I'd be able to learn every aspect of real estate investing from talking to investors, from talking to lenders, and then I would spin off and start buying real estate on my own while having a vertical broker and private money loans in the background the whole time.
Talk about being in the right room, right? So it's exactly what it is, right? What do you see as the future for LNH Capital and Smart Money Blueprint in the next 3 to 5 years?
The future for LNH Capital will be top 1% biggest lenders in this space. And I'm saying that because this industry operates on such an antiquated model, right?
Yeah.
We pay overhead to go and find us deals, and we operate by a one-size-fits-all concept. It is a flawed model, right? It's a flawed model because, one, LNH Capital has a model in which everything that we do in-house, we do in-house. But if we can't do something in-house, but we can broker it out, we will broker a deal out, of course, with the borrower's consent and knowledge, and then be able to convert a deal that we can't do into a deal that we can do. So this allows us to not have to say no to a lot of deals because with the Smart Money Blueprint, we're teaching people how to build a business brokering loans. LNH Capital cannot be a source, and I, as the principal, cannot teach people how to broker loans if I don't know what's happening in the market. So to turn business away, knowing that there are 5 lenders that can do the deal because I want to make more money, is irresponsible, not only in leadership of LNH Capital, but as principal of the Smart Money Blueprint. So what LNH Capital is going to do is, if I can't do the deal in-house, we'll just make less money, broker the deal. But what that does for us, that allows us to start where the industry has a 43% conversion rate. LNH Capital will be able to move into 60, 70, 80%. Because we know exactly what lenders are going to be able to fund the deals that we can't fund in-house. So at that point, we're only subscribing to deals that fall apart for title and appraisal, whatever the case may be. But there won't be a lot of deals we have to say no to because we have lending partners that we can broker the business to who are just as successful in closing deals as LNH Capital itself. So LNH Capital is going to run the blended model of funding in-house and brokering while having thousands of brokers bring us business, because the only way Smart Money Blueprint can teach you the business is if we're in the weeds with you day to day, explaining what's happening during the loan process. When you bring the business to LNH Capital, we're in the weeds with you.
Right.
So Smart Money Blueprint is going to be the foundation of the education and resources for the private money broker network, which is going to fuel millions and millions of dollars of business to LNH Capital, while it won't cost LNH Capital 1 penny in marketing.
Gotcha. That sounds like a perfect fit. So, Adonis, it was such a pleasure having you in the podcast. How can someone find you, connect with you?
Find me, if anyone's interested in learning how to build a business broker and private money loans, hello@smartmoneyblueprint.com. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, just first name, last name, Adonis Lockett. Anyone's interested in submitting a loan, LNHcapital.com. If anyone's interested in joining the Private Money Broker Network, privatemoneybrokernetwork.com. Everything that we do is to cultivate and enhance the next person who wants to do something in the space. And LNH Capital is just one of the vehicles that is going to allow people to build the business. The Smart Money Blueprint was designed to help people grow. Private Money Broker Network is designed to give them the resources, and collectively, those handful of companies is going to allow people to create a massive business in real estate at the true lowest barrier of entry.
Very good. Thank you again, Adonis, for spending some time with us today. Thank you very much, folks, for plugging into this episode of the Connect Talk official podcast. Please like and subscribe and follow along.